these skills, okay, or these abilities, you can take in any direction. You can add, if you have your own favourite move, you can add your own favourite move to it. If you're really good at striking and you're conditioned to striking, add punches to it. Okay? Anything you can add to it to complement it will make it better. We're not saying take things away. Okay? If you're competent at ground fighting with jiu-jitsu, use your jiu-jitsu skills. What we're just doing is we're giving you the skeleton of a structure. Then it's down to you to put on it all the tendons and the muscles and the ligaments and then eventually the skin. It makes sense? So you're like building up something to be, which eventually will be yourself. That makes sense? So you've got the skeleton as it stands. Okay. Now the skeleton, if you look at the body, without the skeleton, the body will just drop to the floor, won't it? Okay. So that's your structure. Okay. And then you can complement it by adding different bits to it, adding your own spin on it. Your combatives, okay, should be the same but not look the same. Make sense? Okay, because we all move differently. I can't turn around and say you must all move like me. I'm short and fat. Okay, some of you are tall and athletic. All right? Okay, so we're all different. So depending on your own abilities and your own skills, and everybody's combatives will move differently, as long as you maintain the same understanding, knowledge and ability within the combatives about structure, defend yourself, fire off. If you want to throw punches in, throw punches in. If you have the skill to do it. Don't teach it to people that don't have the skill. Okay? Don't go, oh yeah, punch, 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 because they just get hurt and they become a victim. And then you've got to stand there and have a moral responsibility to the fact that somebody's hurt themselves and being attacked because of something you taught them. Okay? So the next bit we're going to move on to is the biting aspect. The biting aspect is also gouging and pinching. Okay, when we bite, we're not just going to nip for nip him for the sake of nipping. We're going to bite. Okay, and you all will bite each other. Okay, Justin's been bit, Aaron's been bit on past courses. Have you ever come away hurt? No, but we've still trained it, haven't we? And we've still trained the response and got the response. Okay, something to think about. It's about delivering a skill set to achieve a response. Okay, now there's a question, some people say, oh, that's not fair, that's dirty, the rest of it. Okay, all right. Just a little bit of a thought pattern to go out here. What would you perceive to be a fair fight? What would be a fair fight to you? There isn't one. There's no such a fair fight. If it was to be a fair fight, you'd both be the same age, the same weight, the same skill set, the same level of ability. Right down. That would be a fair fight. Look how much of a trouble people in the UFC or boxing matches have to make it a fair fight. They're never exactly the same, are they? Okay, makes sense. So is it a fair fight? Okay, you're out on the street. Okay, somebody's going to have better attributes, better skills. Okay, when we talk about the ability to bite or gouge, take eyes and all the rest of it, okay, I wouldn't go out of my way to bite somebody. It wouldn't be my go-to thing. Okay, it would be something that I would use to put myself in a position of superiority over the other person if I had nothing else to go to. That makes sense? So I'm not going to take somebody to the floor and start biting them. Okay, my initial thing would be to try to get away from them. That makes sense? My priority to get away, not to stay there hugging them, biting them. Remember, biting somebody, you've got to be undisturbed. That means the person cannot physically remove you from their body. That makes sense? So if I'm clinging to the person, how am I getting away? Okay, I can be kicked in the face and all sorts. So it's not my priority thing to go to. It's what if. Okay, and this is what people have got to realise, it's what if. Okay, I'm on the floor and I'm getting mullered and all the rest of it, I can't get out, I'm going to bite somebody to make space. I need to create space to escape. I will bite that person if I have to. If nothing else works, bite. Okay, also you've got to think about the psychology of it as well. If I bite somebody, you're going to completely and truly piss the other person off. Okay, the person who's attacking you, and if you don't do it properly, and you do not have control over the person, all you've done is made somebody more aggressive and more violent. Okay, and you've made them motivated. Okay, they are truly, truly motivated to hurt you now. Okay, so you truly got to understand the correct time and position to do the bite. It's not just a bite. Okay, and this is where people get misplaced with it, and now they understand the concept of how it works. Everybody happy with that? Brilliant. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through some bites. Okay, we're not going to do loads of them, we're just going to do a few of them. And the idea of the bite, when you get bit, you've got a choice here. When the person bites you, let the person bite you. Okay, the person's going to bite you. We're not going to pierce skin, there's not going to be blood anywhere like that. You may go out of it with teeth marks. Yeah? Okay, teeth marks, that's it. Okay, you get a bruise, all the rest of it, but it's training, it's realistic. Not only are you learning to bite, you're learning to understand how you would feel should it happen to you. Okay, I've been bitten. It's not nice. Okay, it's, oh, wow. You know what I mean? It does change things. It changes, fights mutate. Okay, it can be one-on-one. Me and Justin can be having a fight, and then Aaron jumps in, so it's now 2-on-1. Then I pick up a knife, it's 2-on-1 against a knife. See how fights mutate now? My mate then jumps in, okay? It's 2-on-2, but there's a knife in the equation. Justin picks up a brick. Do you see how the fight mutates? Okay, there's no referee. There's nobody to stop the fight. Okay, fights will mutate. Okay, that's the way it is. All right, so the biting bit, in the diplomatic protection team in the police training manual for firearms teams, there used to be a bit in there about biting. Okay, I don't know if it's still there because I've not seen it for years now. But there used to be a bit about biting, and it was actually in reference to firearms retention. So they made sure they kept their firearms. They didn't have to bite. Okay, and the only real thing they put against it was to be aware of cross-contamination of disease, because this was back in the days when AIDS was quite big and all the rest of it. Okay, so it's just something to think about. I would take the chance personally if somebody was on top of me and they'd hurt my daughters or any of my daughters or my wife or whatever. I wouldn't think twice about it. I wouldn't be thinking, oh, do I? Have I had my tetanus? No, I'll just bite. Okay. I was involved, personal experience. Okay, I bit somebody. I was closing 2 fire doors on a club, and the bars, and they were trying to pull it open. I was trying to climb it shut, and they were trying to pull it open, but his hand got caught in there. I didn't realise he was there, and he pulled it open with rage. And as he pulled it open, my hand slipped over the bars. So I was pretty much like that. And I didn't realise what he'd done to me, but when we looked at the CCTV footage afterwards, he'd uppercut me in the face 8 times. And I couldn't see, I was full of blood, split all my face open, all the rest of it. And I managed to get my hands out, because I was like, yeah, here, and I managed to get my hands out, and I just hugged him. I didn't know what else to do. I had to close the gap down. So I hugged him. I didn't know what to do, and I was, like I said, I remember I was bleeding, I couldn't see properly, and I bit his chest. And I remember I bit his chest, and in the process of him trying to get me off him, we fell over. Okay, I landed on top of him, and I crawled my way up his body, and I put my hand in, and I bit the side of his face. And I held on to him, and I bit. Okay, again, I couldn't see what was going on. I was scared. Okay, didn't have a clue, but I bit. All right. The other doorman came out. They separated us. They got me up. They cleaned me up, and all the rest of it. It wasn't until a couple of days later when I actually saw the guy, because he was a local guy, that I actually felt really bad about the situation. And it wasn't because I bit him. He attacked me. Okay, I didn't know what else to do. I was bleeding. I couldn't see. I was panicking. Men's rear, you know, all the rest of it. But the reason why I felt bad about it is because when I actually sat down with him and spoke to him, he was covered in acne. All right, and it made me. I was like, you know, those people that got really bad acne. He had really bad acne, and I was like, ooh. That was the only part of the whole situation I felt bad about. It was the fact that he was covered in acne, and it made me feel quite inside. But yes, I bit somebody. Okay, and I bit them purely out of, I went into survival mode because I couldn't see. Okay guys, so there will be a time that you may have to bite somebody. So it's a case of, like I just described then, I didn't let go of him, I clung to him. I put pressure on him, I've got to protect myself, stop him taking my eyes. Because people say, yeah, I'll just poke him in the eyes, I'll just do this. If you do it properly, they're not able to do that. That makes sense? And on top of that there, right, no disrespect, if we've got Mark here, sat on top of you, and you're not being able to force him off you, and you bite him, he'll move. Make sense? So this becomes an equalizer. Okay, the jaw's got quite a lot of power. All right, guys, are we all happy with that? Is there any questions about this before we go any further? Are we all happy to bite each other? Yeah, brilliant. Sometimes I ask people, would you bite somebody? They go, no, I wouldn't bite nobody. I said, so if I grew up your kid, would you bite me? Of course I would. Well then, be realistic about it, okay? It's an attribute that we need to think about, and it's an attribute that maybe people need to cover, and cover in a half-decent format, if that makes sense. Yeah? Okay. Well then, if you take a side pin on me, mate. Yeah. Oh, he's got me a side pin. I can't get my hand in here, he's got it on my arm. Okay, it's making life really, really awkward for me. Okay, now on top of that moment, he's on top of me. Okay, makes sense? He's making life really, really awkward for me. Yeah? Okay, what can he not do now? He cannot get away from me, can he? Make sense? So I'm trapping myself to his body. I'm locking myself to him. Okay? Because if I do this, oh dear. Make sense? That's why I need to tether myself to him first, because this needs to be undisturbed. Okay? Undisturbed to the point I get to a position where I want to be, I can break away, that he's not able to attack me anymore, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm in this position, oh, he's on top of me. Okay, fine. Can I stick my arm underneath him? Can you put your nose up, put your nose? I can't get him. He starts moving. I can't go on the move out of the way. You all right? You want a bite mark? Yeah. Oh, I should say. Okay? Does that make sense? What was the first thing I've done? I protected myself. Make sense? He's only hell-bent on one thing, and that's moving. He don't want to be there. Have I hurt you? Have I maimed him? No. Does he need stitches? No. Yes, he will have teeth marks. Okay? People go, well, that's bad, that's wrong. No, I'm training him. Have you got teeth marks? Yeah. Yeah? There you go, little teeth marks. But it is what it is. Okay? So we come back again. Okay? So notice, I trap him. I don't want him getting away from me. Get away from me. Make sense? Now as you can see, if I stay like this, my face is in the way. Yeah? So the first thing I do is I trap him, and then I sink my teeth into his chest. Now I'm not trying to eat him, I'm just trying to cause pain. It's all about triggering the pain stimulus. The moment I trigger the pain stimulus, he's no longer trying to fight me, he starts to flail. So I go, and he starts moving. Can I let go? I didn't let go until I had something else in place. Make sense? Okay, so I'm in this position, I'm like, now I can let go. Now I can start hammer fisting and break away. Yeah? Who wants to see it again? Any more? See it again? One more time?
You wait till your next PT session.
Come on this time, mate. Yeah, because the camera there. I won't actually put me. Look, see, I'm in this position. I'm trying to push up. Nothing's happening. I'm flailing. He's there. So the thing I go, shit, lock him down. Boom. Move on the motor. Now I can move. Make sense? Now I've got control over him. Okay? He starts to move his arms around again. Boom, we're going. Move out of the way and run. Have a go, guys.